Texas Podcast Massacre contains spoilers and adult language. For more horror, visit us at our website at texaspodcastmassacre.com. This is Texas Podcast Massacre.
Welcome to another episode of Texas Podcast Massacre, coming to you from Houston, Texas. I'm your host, Mitch, and with me, as always, are my rhythm section, Lisa.
I have no words.
And Nate.
You're going to sit crisscross applesauce.
God, I'm so glad. I'm so glad someone did the crisscross applesauce.
Thank you.
Each week on Texas Podcast Massacre, we take a look at a different horror movie and debate a horror-related topic with our unsuspecting victim, who is usually someone that is not what we would call a horror movie fan. This week, our little punk band has picked up a groupie during our European tour.
A Hungarian groupie.
Yeah. To join us as we review Green Room this week. So thank you, Victor, for joining the studio this week.
Kasanam.
Thank you.
So, Victor, so you're from Hungary, Budapest specifically, yeah?
That is correct.
Cool. So let me ask, I got two questions for you. So first, you're not a horror movie fan.
I'm not the biggest fan.
Yeah.
That's for sure.
Assuming Nate forces you to watch a bunch of stuff.
I literally forced him to watch literally an episode of Rick and Morty.
You were like, if this qualified as bullying, I don't think it does, but if it did, you are an international bullier at this point.
I am the Austin Powers of making people watch things.
Oh my God. I don't. Why?
International.
I get it.
Yep.
But why? Whatever. So my question, okay, so when you are forced to watch these movies, are there any type that you like better than others? Any of the genres, I guess, yeah.
Yeah, so I'm pretty good with like psychological.
Okay.
In general, like 7.
Oh,
so
cool,
it's a good one, right? But I hate slashers.
Gotcha.
And like,
okay.
Yeah.
So this movie was a good one for you then, exactly.
It was like, okay.
Okay.
It was okay genre.
Yeah.
It wasn't a slash.
This had slashing.
There was slashing, but not a slasher.
Slasher.
Not too much of it, yeah.
There's no decapitated heads, though, so downgrade. But other than that.
And I guess, I mean, another question I had was, so in Hungary, are horror movies popular? Is it kind of are they a big deal over there? Not really. I'm curious.
We don't really have the movie theaters anymore. So if you want, then you can watch it on DVD or like stream it. But it used to be bigger, like in the early 2000s, I would say.
Okay.
But there are actually a lot of horror movies or a lot of movies in general, being filmed in Hungary.
That is indeed correct.
Yeah.
For example, Don't Breathe was...
Yeah, Don't Breathe was filmed in Hungary.
Was it part of Spy?
That's right. You know, we saw that. I remember we were looking at the credits. You're like, oh, yeah, look, it's all... Yeah,
okay,
shit.
Yeah. Oh, there's a lot of guys named
That's
Imra. Right. What's that? Why is there so many guys named Imra? That's very Hungarian.
And like the new Blade Runner as well, right?
Yeah, new Blade Runner was in Budapest. Atomic Blonde was in Budapest. I watched that recently. I saw the famous Blue Line Metro in Hungary.
Did they film the part where they're in Budapest and Spy in Budapest? I think so.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Yes.
Spy. Oh, yeah. Spy. And then Lake Balaton, which is southwest of there.
Nice.
Yeah. It's actually really big. Like, basically, like, if you want, like, anything filmed in, like, Eastern Europe, like, before 1990, you basically film it in Budapest. Is that a positive or negative? I'm not sure. But it is there. Yeah.
Well, awesome. Well, cool. Well, thank you once again for joining us, Victor.
Thank you.
I don't know where I'm supposed to go with that.
Yeah. Tough segue. I apologize.
A hell of a segue. Well, with that, then, let's move to our debate question for this week.
We will see how the Lord favors you.
No, you dare not blaspheme. He will punish you. The jaws of hell will devour you. All of you. No.
So I'll tell you from experience, if you are in a band and you are getting interviewed, there is usually someone asking you, if you are getting interviewed for any sort of like social media blog, whatever, they'll ask you this desert island question that we hear in the movie about, if you could only have one, but who's your favorite band? Who's your big influence? All that. So we're going to take that same question, but instead of your favorite or your desert island music or band, if you were going to be strapped on a desert island, what one movie would you bring? And since for both of our unsuspecting victims, we'll open it up to any
genre.
Yeah. I'll probably try to stick to horror, but Lisa, let's start with you.
This is a tough one because I'm trying to think of something I wouldn't mind watching over and over again.
Which Harry Potter movie do you like the best?
I don't think it's Harry Potter.
Oh,
You guys don't know me at all.
Azkaban.
No, it's the Birdcage.
Oh, yes, the Birdcage. Yeah,
That's a
you know that makes
fantastic
sense.
movie.
I mean, you know,
I must have seen it at least, I don't know, 150 times already in my life.
God.
And I'd watch it again.
That's awesome.
Easily. Like, it was on the other night and I almost got sucked into it. I was like, no, I got to turn this off because I'm going to sit down and watch the whole movie.
Who's your favorite person in the Birdcage? Nathan Lane? Robin Williams?
It's a toss-up between them and Hank Azaria because he's fantastic
Hank Azaria's
in it too. I mean, that whole movie is full of just... I love all of them. They're all so good and it's just hilarious.
Damn,
So-
I was not expecting that
Yeah.
at all.
yeah, no, that was not my
Wow.
guess.
Mitch, you should know better. That's terrible.
I should, you know what? I because they, you know, her and her family quote it all the time. So I should have known that. I went with Beauty and the Beast as my guess for her,
Oh.
not for me. No, you know,
That's a good one, but...
yeah.
eh.
Nate, what about you?
Pass. I'm still thinking.
You're still
I'm still thinking.
All right.
thinking.
All right.
I got it. I'm back. My Desert Island movie is 1956's Invasion of the Body Snatchers. I literally watched it going to sleep last night, so might as well be my movie. It is a horror movie, so if it hits your criteria, it's super well done, very ominous, very rewatchable. There's a lot of like cues and stuff that you pick up on later on, so like it's good for like repeat viewing. The acting is really good and the story's amazing, and it's fun to see quaint 1950s people like, oh, I can't, like, you know, like it's so everything's so polite until like, oh, the whole world's like destroyed.
Right.
Oh, whoops, sorry.
Surprised. I would have thought you would have gone with The Witch. So I'm learning a lot about both of y'all
the witch
today.
is the witch has to work its way in. It needs a few more years.
A few more decades.
Exactly.
To earn it. Okay.
I have fallen asleep watching Witch, which is I recommend not doing because it is a
You're
mistake.
going to wake up at the most weird scene. Is what's
One
gonna
time
happen.
I woke up literally to the gut hit.
Yeah.
I'm like, this is I need to turn a light on. This is problems. Like this is a mistake. So.
Do you have to worry about goat goring you at any point in time?
Normally not. When you wake up and you see it right in front of your face, no, like,
gets a
God
little
damn
worrisome.
it. I gotta worry about this. This is terrible.
I mean, downtown Houston, who knows what you might run into.
Yeah. Black Phillip's more likely a linebacker
Right.
at this point, but either way, not great.
Oh my God, Victor, what would you bring with you?
I would probably pick The Matrix.
Oh, I was gonna pick
nice.
that, but I had to pick a horror movie. Damn it! Nice.
That's nice. Okay.
Nice.
Now, obviously, just the first one, not like the box trilogy box.
Oh, the first.
Yeah, just-
Matrix.
So I am the rare person who likes the second Matrix better than the first Matrix.
What?
Yeah.
Right, yeah, someone
Reloaded,
else
son.
did.
Reloaded.
No.
Yep.
Oh.
Yeah. They're both fantastic.
No, they're not.
The third one is not as good as the first two.
No. Why?
What's your favorite part of the Matrix then? So
Yeah.
what? So I've watched the Matrix easily 50 times.
Favorite part?
Yeah. What do you have like a favorite kind of part?
It's very hard to pick. I like the whole movie. So
Like the bullet time 360 thing.
that's not my favorite part, actually.
Oh, okay.
Maybe a better question. So what about the movie makes it the one you'd want to bring it?
The
It may
one,
not be a scene.
the
but
one.
Wow.
I'm not doing the drop.
Whoa. We need a whoa drop.
Yeah.
Whoa.
Oh my God. Anyway, back.
Maybe if I watch it enough times, I can find the way out from the desert.
Yeah, well,
You can find a way out. Nice.
You're searching for answers. I like it.
He's literally trying to unjack from this podcast right now. Get me out of here. What is happening?
Yeah. Well, should have taken the blue pill. So on this, I think for me, I do Nightmare Before Christmas. That's my all-time favorite movie.
That's good. That's good.
It's all the things I love about Halloween. It's not the traditional horror movie, obviously, but it's such a good movie.
That's good.
Yeah, I watch it like every year. So
That's not scary.
of course not. I didn't say that to be scary. I just said
It's horror related.
yeah.
Jack Skellington. I mean, come on. That's-
Yeah.
I'll give you a pass on it.
Thank you.
If I could, I mean,
Thank you.
of
The
all the
unsuspecting
ones,
victim is just slap chopping your movie.
I know,
here.
right?
I could watch that. I mean, if you're considering that a horror movie, I'd put it on the list.
Well, all right,
Watch it
so
over
the
and
winner
over.
is The Matrix. All right, got it.
It's probably scary. Yeah.
Victor wins.
I think we can go with that. Okay. Well, are y'all ready to get into this movie review?
Yeah.
All right. Well, for this week's movie of the week, we will be reviewing Green Room.
Okay, I'm with the 8 Rights from Washington, D.C. You guys are hard to find. Why no social media presence?
Music is shared live. It's time and aggression. You gotta be there.
Sorry, guys, we gotta clear out. Follow me.
And then it's over. Holy shit.
I told you to follow. Stop!
Go! You can't keep us here. You gotta let us go.
We're not keeping you. You're just staying. We're so fucking dead, guys.
What do we do? Oh, shit.
This will be over soon, gentlemen.
What are they doing?
They're coming.
Yeah, so the Green Room is about a punk rock band that is touring in the U.S. Pacific Northwest, so Seattle, Portland sort of area. They pick up a gig, they see something they're not supposed to, and they find themselves in the fight for their lives to try to survive against, some white supremacist skinheads in Portland.
Portland area.
Yeah, the Portland area.
Yep.
So Nate, I guess first stats around this movie.
Yeah, sure. So this movie came out in wide release in 2016. It was 95 minutes, but I mean, I can say that it didn't lag at all. It was a pretty jam-packed 95 minutes. Yeah. It's a 7.0 on IMDb, which is pretty high for a horror movie, and 90% on Rotten Tomatoes, which I'm sure Lisa was totally with on that one. The tagline of this movie is one of the weirdest taglines ever. It goes, "Now, whatever you saw or did is no longer my concern. But let's be clear, it won't end well."
That is the longest
I've never seen a tagline with 5 periods in it.
Oh
but
my
yet,
gosh.
here we are. So that's the time. So we watched this on Amazon Prime Video. I'm assuming all you guys did.
The
also.
tagline should have just been Patrick Stewart's in this.
Yeah. It should be in Patrick Stewart, gravelly gravitas voice.
Well, that was
right?
Patrick Stewart's quote in the movie.
Yeah, exactly.
So, which maybe he ad-libbed. Who knows? I don't.
Yeah, he crushed it.
Maybe they're just like, yeah, that's great. We'll just go.
So watch this on Amazon Prime. The budget was $5 million. The gross was only 3.8, but I think it made it back in kind of its cult, well-regarded status. The director was Jeremy Saulnier. He did 2014's Blue Ruin. Have you guys ever seen Blue Ruin? Ooh, highly recommended to watch Blue Ruin. Another great movie. And that was his second movie. His first movie was 2007's Murder Party, which I've also seen, which don't recommend quite as highly.
I've not seen either of those.
And then he's next year he has a movie called Hold the Dark with Alexander Skarsgård, so one of the other Bill Skarsgård, Pennywise's brother, which is about a tracker hunting down a person, which is another dark movie from this guy. Jeremy Saulnier wanted to make this movie before he got too famous. So his career arc was going toward him being a big director. He's like, if I get too big a director, I can't direct this movie about neo-Nazis trying to kill his band. So I got to do it now.
Yeah.
And so that was the rationale for making this movie, which he had kind of wanted to do he had done a short movie about 8-9 years before this about this exact scene that had some supernatural elements in it. But he decided that he wouldn't make it right before he apparently got too famous to be able to make it. The main actor is Anton Yelchin, Pat, right?
Chekhov.
Yep, Chekhov. This is his last movie before his death in June of 2016. That was in wide release. So he was Chekhov in the Star Trek reboot. He was in Only Lovers Left Alive and in another horror movie, the Fright Night remake from about 6 years ago.
Yeah, that's right. He was in that. Yeah.
Yeah, so he was born in Leningrad to figure skating parents, which is just interesting. The other actress, Sam, Ali Shawkat, who's maybe in Arrested Development. Yeah.
No, that's not it.
No, she was maybe in Arrested Development. She was in Whip
He
It.
doesn't watch Arrested Development enough to get that.
Oh,
that
yeah.
line win.
God damn it. Yes, you had to say it. She was in Whip It. She was in Final Girls, which is a horror movie from a couple years ago, which I thought was fantastic.
No.
And she's had small parts in Transparent and my personal favorite show, probably Drunk History. And then lastly, the character of Darcy is Patrick Stewart, which we all know. Another Star Trek connection.
You mean Sir Patrick Stewart?
Yes, Sir Patrick Stewart.
He didn't.
He didn't get his knighthood for nothing.
He didn't work for that knighthood.
The Texas
for you to call him
Podcast
Mr.
Massacre.
Patrick
The
Stewart.
Texas Podcast Massacre does not recognize British royal. No. It's so he was also a Star Trek person as Picard. Obviously, he's been in Logan and X-Men. He was the Ted narrator in both movies, which I thought both of you guys should know. And he was in Dune. Again, added some gravitas to the role. He read the script, and after he read the script, he locked himself in his house and watched the entire perimeter of his property and security cameras for the rest of the night. And he's like, "All right, I want to be in this movie." So that's how that went. I don't know. The music tracks were actually performed by the actors, not live during the shows, but they actually, a couple people knew some instruments, but other people didn't. So they actually learned some instruments and recorded the tracks. And this is filmed in Astoria, Oregon, at the house of one of the actual actors. And the forest was the Mount Hood National Forest in Oregon. So yeah, that's about it.
Well, nice.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I guess overall impressions, Victor. So just overall, what did you think about the film?
I was surprised. I kind of liked it, actually.
Yeah.
It's pretty good for a horror movie.
I picked a good one.
Yeah, it's a good pick. Yep.
So what did you like about it specifically? Like what were some of the kind of the parts that you enjoyed?
The whole setup, and I guess the way they try to survive, it was quite intense. So some of the horror movies is like there are like peak periods, like when it's very intense and then it's kind of boring.
Okay,
and this one was pretty good all time long.
Yeah, the tension was ratchet. I mean, once the initial murder happens, I mean, there's no let up, and the tension is just right through the whole rest of the movie. What did you think about what did you think about the acting or anything like that? I mean, was it convincing to you, or was it? It
was good. When I started to watch the movie, I was like, "Am I watching Star Trek by any chance?"
Right.
But then they convinced me, okay, this is a real horror movie, not a...
Beam me up. Beam me out of the room. Wait, why are you not beaming me? What's happening? I'm getting slashed. What's happening?
Yeah, I appreciated the authenticity of it. Like everything
it
felt very real.
This is a scenario. I mean, obviously not a normal one.
Well, not even really that part.
Yeah.
Like I thought we'll get into it, but the touring band aspect, the kind of the setup and what led into it.
Yeah.
Thought it was very authentic.
The broken down van.
The broken down van. Yeah.
So, Mitch, I have a lot of questions in my notes written specifically for you about bands.
Yeah, we'll get into some of that. But what I also like too, the gore wasn't over the top. He didn't linger on it. But when you did see, I mean, even then, it was so well done. It felt very real.
When Pat's hand got slashed.
When Pat's hand got slashed.
Oh
well,
my god! He had like a dangle. Like a wrist dangle.
Yeah, well, even when Reese got stabbed, and you actually saw like the cuts, and it was just very very low spurt kind of over the top special effects, very realistic, very
big. The big Justin.
Yeah, everything was handled. All the details are handled very well in this movie. So I really like that.
Yeah.
Lisa, what were your kind of overall thoughts?
Oh man, here we go.
I fell asleep.
What? Oh, man.
And I woke up and I told Mitch, I said, wait, who just died? I don't think I missed.
And Mitch goes, everyone. Everyone just died.
Yeah, it was a number of people that just kind of died all at once.
It was 2.
It just happened very quick. I'm like,
yeah.
But to be fair,
have you never seen this before, Mitch?
No, I haven't.
Oh, you hadn't seen it? Okay.
So it came out right before I actually did go on tour, and I thought, you know what? I don't need to watch this before I hit the road.
Yeah, okay.
We're going to just...
So, sorry, Lisa. So what was your...
No, I don't
When
know.
you were awake, what was
I feel...
what was the...
No, so I don't know. I think I mean, fine, the touring band and all that was new, but I feel like I've seen this plot like over and over again.
Really?
Yeah.
Neo-Nazis coming after people in a secluded
not
room?
specifically. Just the overall, like, you're trapped, you have to get out kind of scenario.
I mean, yeah, most horror movies
We just
we're
watched
stuck
Saw.
in one location.
We just watched Saw, so yeah, I guess that could be.
And there's a number. They're always kind of set in one prime location that they're all being stalked around.
But the reason for this happening is very original. Normally, it's this is actually kind of a unique setup, which I appreciated.
Yeah.
For me, but yeah, I guess that is true. There's been a couple like that. The authenticity, like you said, Mitch, I definitely liked. One of the things, and we'll get into this, and I will list out numerous quotes, is this movie is super intense, like Victor mentioned, but the one-liners in this movie are fucking hilarious. Like, in context, like, it doesn't take you out of, like, it's not ridiculous, right? The tension
it's not
is still
someone
there,
just like trying to.
but they are fucking amazingly good one-liners in this movie, and I'll go through some of them. But the way that they juxtaposed the terribleness of the situation, the Nazis, which all got what was coming to them, which I was very pleased with, and then the kind of some humor and weirdness and stuff like that from random people getting put in the situation. I loved it. I thought it was fantastic. So,
well, let's talk about the band. So the Ain't Rights
or the Aren't Rights. Either way.
Either way.
Yeah, you can say either way.
Which totally related.
So at least they got billing on the side of the building.
Well, there's four of them, so it's a 4-piece. There's Pat the bassist.
Yep.
There's Anton.
Anton Yelchin.
Yep. There's Reese, who's the drummer.
Yep.
There is Sam, who is Egg from Arrested Development. There's the guitarist. And then Tiger,
the lead
which,
singer.
of course, the vocalist has a name like Tiger.
Yep.
Everyone else has a normal name.
So, Victor, who's your favorite band member?
Yeah.
Pat.
You like Pat?
Yeah.
Okay.
Pat? How about you?
Hood Rat Pat? Oh, I'm all about Pat. I'm all about Pat also.
Lisa.
Pat.
Oh, everyone's Pat.
Yeah, you know what? Already unrealistic. The bassist is never. I used to play bass before I did vocals. The bassist is never
he's
the most
flea.
popular band member of anyone's band.
He's the flea of the group.
Yeah, him and Les Claypool. Name one other bassist besides those two.
John Paul Jones. Yeah, suck it. John Entwistle.
John Entwistle. Okay.
Yeah.
Name a more recent one than
a bassist
from the 70s.
Who's that guy?
Yeah, you're right. No.
Who's that guy from Fall Out Boy?
Guy from Fall Out Boy.
Pete something.
No, your favorite bassist guy.
I know who my bassist. My favorite bassist.
Oh, Jocko. Yeah.
All right.
Primus.
I already said Les Claypool.
See?
Yeah, bassist normally
again,
not high on.
So no, for me, again, Tiger, the vocalist. Yeah, he cracked me up. He cracked me up. Well, because he's look. They did the whole band dynamic perfectly.
Okay.
The drummer having to load all of his own shit. Everyone else is kind of just hanging around the van. The lead singer just drinking, not really doing a whole lot for the sound check. Yeah, that's
you.
Yeah,
you are lead singer.
I don't do shit. I don't have equipment.
So as a person in a band, you appreciated the small details, right?
Like I said,
is what you're saying.
Mm-hmm.
So you're saying they nailed that kind of?
They did, although I do worry these kids suffer from narcolepsy because like twice they just sort of wake up and their van's trash at one point. The other point they're like hanging out, then they're like
in a cornfield.
They all just wake up in another. I'm worried about them on that piece.
You're partying too hard. Yeah. It's all good. Keeping it real, keeping it analog,
Oh my God, keeping it analog.
Keeping it raw.
Jesus.
I don't know. It ruined it for me when they got access to the green room, even though they weren't the headliner. I was like, "That's bullshit."
What? That took you out of it.
Depends, to be fair, it depends where you are. It depends where you are in the support bill. So,
well, yeah, the neo-Nazis are very nice to their bands.
They didn't even get their name right. How are they going to get into the green room?
Well, they didn't even know their own name.
Yeah.
So
I was actually going to just say that, for what it's worth, the skinheads were very. That's actually better treatment than most bands get on like a normal tour.
Yeah,
they got access to a green room and
then a backwards
and when
broke down.
They paid them up front. It was just, shit. The door thing that happens is how most gigs usually work for not very well.
I'm surprised they didn't put them in a white room in this movie.
I'm not doing it.
Oh, I hate you.
It was too long. No, but so anyway.
Nate, just because the movie's one-liners were good doesn't mean yours are.
Yeah, well, it's not exclusive, but they both are good.
Yeah. So let me ask you this: up through the first 2 gigs, so they do 2 very different gigs. The one is
Mexican restaurant,
who is their first promoter,
yeah,
who is the cousin of one of the skinheads, and then there's the skinhead one. So of the two sets, what'd you think? Which one stood out more in your head?
Yeah, Victor, go ahead.
Yeah,
Well, the first one was more intense. They had a better selection of track list, I would say. The set list was slightly better.
Yeah, at the diner or wherever it was.
Yeah. It was in a Mexican restaurant because they got rice and beans after the fact, right? So that was, I liked the Nazi punks fuck off, which is...
Yeah, the dead Kennedys cover.
I will be saying this about 100 times throughout the podcast, but Nazi punks fuck off was inspired first choice.
Why? Why would you play that?
Because they're like saying "fuck you, Nazis."
They're also,
I understand that, but do you want to die?
Well, they got some bottles thrown at them, and they played their old
Well,
stuff.
to be fair, they also even said, like, we there's always some skinheads in our shows anyway from being in the punk scene, and it is also very punk to go against whoever the hell you're playing for.
Yeah, they're so real.
So I get you. It's not a very smart move, but it's a very punk move.
Yeah,
and
So Mitch, as a hard rock person, are there like skinheady dudes? Is that a factor?
No, you don't really see a bunch of skinhead dudes. Sometimes you mostly see bikers.
Oh, okay, bikers.
Yeah, so you'll get a lot of the biker bar guys and things like that. But I don't recall ever.
I mean, biker is greater than skinhead. 9 times out of 10.
Well, yeah, they just keep their own mostly. As far as
Sure.
they want to hear some White Snake and some of the old hair metal stuff.
Yeah.
But
White Snake better than white supremacist music. So
yes,
for sure. Yeah, even though it's called White Snake, it's
fine.
Close, but yeah, sure, it's fine.
They just like it because of Tawny Katane. I mean, that's really all.
That's fair.
Yeah. So I mean, life on the road.
So Lisa, so you said Pat was your favorite band member. Who's your second favorite member? Because Pat, they kind of focus on a little bit more, right? So they kind of make you feel for that. But who? So there's some secondary characters in this, obviously, right? And so who's your second one? Maybe.
Probably maybe.
Maybe. So
Sam.
Yeah.
Sam.
Yeah.
Okay. Sam was cool. About you, Victor? Who was your second favorite? You got Tiger, who's like the escape artist. You got Reese, the jiu-jitsu master.
Yeah, him. Actually.
You like Reese?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, Reese would get shit done.
That was
that was surprising. That was surprising.
When he brought him in that armbar, I was like, "Whoa, wait a minute! Something just happened here."
Oh, and that arm break was
that was crazy.
Awesome. No. You're awake for the armbar?
Oh, I saw that.
If you weren't, you probably heard the snap. We're
no,
like, holy
I saw
shit.
that.
Yeah,
that was brutal. I would say Reese also for my second favorite. I mean, he got shit done. I mean, he really took charge. It was surprising. It's some random drummer guy. All of a sudden, he's just jumping on dudes' arms. Yeah, it was awesome.
Yeah, again, he was handling shit. It really, if only he made some really not even a bad decision, just didn't work out for him, and that happens. Yeah, it wasn't even a bad. So let me ask you about this. Let's move to the Nazis real quick.
Oh, fuck them.
So they get to this other set.
I'm just gonna let the F-bombs. They're just gonna start happening.
So Victor. So before we get to Patrick Stewart, so we have Gabe, we have Big Justin. We have Worm from the band Cowcatcher.
Cowcatcher.
Is Cowcatcher the worst name you've ever heard for a band?
Close enough.
Yeah, that's
close enough.
I'm sure it's a reference. I don't get it.
I don't.
I think they're just trying to relate to their audience. Cowcatcher. I don't know. Cow tipping, cowcatcher.
Is that a thing? Is cow tipping a thing?
Probably the only people that have sex with are cows, so they're trying to catch them. Maybe that's it. Fuck these guys. That's all I gotta say.
Yeah. So, what are your thoughts about the majority of the Nazis? Or the Nazis.
They're not. They're fucking Nazis. They're basically Nazis.
Do you think it was over the top? Do you think it was? I mean, I'm curious. Sometimes when you do Nazis. It's a lot. It's very easy to just make them really just totally shitty. They're all horrible. For the most part, they were up until again this one guy who is apparently coked out of his mind doing dope.
doing
I'm just
black people dope.
Well, yeah, that's Patrick Stewart's work.
Yeah,
and yours,
black
apparently,
people
not mine.
dope. Yeah.
What did you think? How do you think it was handled? The Nazi characters.
They were like almost kind sometimes, but actually, like the second set, the slow mo pogo dance. Like, what was that? Like Nazis doing slow mo pogo dance.
Oh, it was like
I think they were like moshing.
It was a mosh pit. It was a mosh pit.
Yeah.
Yeah, this movie humanized the Nazis, these neo-Nazi white supremacist people more than most movies would, which I thought was in some ways good, but then it was also terrifying because they were nice. They were paying them up front. They were giving them money. They were running a tight shop, right? Kind of moving them in and out and make sure their gear was ready and all that kind of stuff. And then that same kind of efficiency was on display as they were organizing, trying to cover up this murder. That was the most terrifying part was the organization and the coolness in which it was happening. They were coolly telling people to go murder people and getting dogs and organizing and planning. And that was, it was the scariest part of the movie was just the coolness and the efficiency that people were just like trying to kill people. It was not even the killing itself. It was more like the planning and the, I hated it. It made my skin crawl.
My point of asking the question is just, I thought it was handled very, it never at one point was very overly cartoonish. They weren't over the top. They weren't, I don't know that I'd say human, but you realize for the most part, they weren't all part of this big. Most of them were, a lot of the people that were there were just there for the bar.
Yeah, in the end, you sympathized with one or two of the
free drinks from 2 to 4.
Yeah, the free drinks. From 2 to 4.
Yeah, right.
Now,
after,
was that afternoon or AM?
That was a couple days before the racial advocacy seminar, which was happening.
Right, so I guess it was 2 to 4 p.m.
Which is still on unless otherwise
racial
noted.
Advocacy. God damn, fuck you guys. God damn it, that's the worst. But yeah, no, I appreciated they made them human. They weren't just fodder. They weren't just cartoonishly evil. They had reasoning. Yep. One of the ladies who was trapped in there with them said, bad things happened to me and it wasn't done by white people. So it's like, I get it. Okay. It's not like you don't have a reason to hate everyone. It's, they tried to get people some backstory.
So my worry about this movie, and I saw the trailer, was that it was going to be when it said they have to survive from Nazis, like, oh shit. So it's just going to be a bunch of guys with the swastikas on their head running around. It handled very well. The characters, still were. They're all right. There wasn't much. It's an hour and a half movie. It's not really.
You're a fucking Nazi. Whatever. You don't have to get involved in Nazis a detailed backstory.
I'm not saying you have to have a detailed backstory, but then it becomes just a body count thing. It's like, oh look, it's nameless henchman number 506, and he's dead. And here's number 5.
So that's what I was going to ask. So if could they have done it without neo-Nazis? Could it have just been club owner? Yeah, someone accidentally got murdered.
So what I think the neo-Nazi part just had to explain to me, it was the organization.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh, that's true.
The coordination, and the shocking planning of what all went into that.
Yeah. No, did it have to be skinheads? Probably not, but just, that's really kind of the major.
It's a group and in Oregon, they are around. There's a lot of skinhead people actually
in rural
parts of Oregon.
Oregon, our state of the week.
Oregon's okay.
The tourism board is going to shut us down one day.
There are neo-Nazis there. They're around.
So let me ask you, what do you think about Darcy? What do you think about Patrick Stewart's portrayal of a Nazi leader?
He was really smart to a point.
Mm-hmm.
To a point, yeah.
To
right?
a point,
yeah.
And it's like he was the brain of the organization.
Yeah.
For a good reason, as we learned in the movie, right?
Yeah.
So he acted well, I guess, in that movie.
Yeah, so you like the character?
The character was nice. Yeah.
Okay.
Good.
But it's Patrick Stewart.
I had a hard time.
Patrick Stewart is fantastic.
I had a hard time getting over his accent.
I know.
He's over here dropping N-bombs and what did he say? He said y'all at one point, but he's not changing his voice. He's just like, I'm Patrick Stewart saying y'all.
Do you see how wide I am? Do you see how bald I am? Deal with it. I'm Patrick Stewart.
Right.
I'm Sir Patrick Stewart. I can do whatever I want.
He's still got his Scottish accent rolling in, and it's just fine. I did like the character though. Man, he comes in and he just handles.
I'm saying the horror is the shocking planning that he just goes to, like, I mean, it's the creepiest part of the movie for me by far, is that he just comes in and he's like, all right, how am I going to murder these people? You know, like,
well, it's not even, I mean, it's not planning, it's disaster. It's crisis management. Really. Well,
and I guess, and we realize is that it's because of the huge drug trade that they're involved in. And so I guess it's not necessarily that he's very Nazi-ish, is that he's like, oh shit, my money's getting tampered with. I gotta end this.
Yeah.
Which is crazy, which is, it always felt, I loved that part of it, because it's like, all right, so we're Nazis, but holy shit, you fucked with the money. And now you're really getting my undivided attention, whereas maybe with some of the philosophy of their group, right, they weren't as interested in that. It's more about the money, right? So
I do have to ask, do you think the band got sent to this because they tried to harass Tad, the first promoter?
I don't think so. I think Tad was a super nice
just trying. I just read in my notes. This is why you don't piss off your promoter / booker.
No.
You also don't piss off your sound guy if you're a band, because I'll just fuck you.
One of my favorite quotes in this movie is Reese, the drummer guy, says, "I say we just gank his vinyl." That's a great quote.
Yeah.
Gank, he got vinyl, he got punk things. That's pretty good. What do you think about Tad, Lisa? What do you think about?
Is it standard practice to just throw your keys at a band and be like, okay, I work at night, be back?
Yeah, he was very trusting with his apartment.
Sometimes, it depends on the promoter.
Wow.
So there's a venue right up here, Dana Electros. They let you, they have bands actually, crash there and all that. They have showers and all that. They let them just kind of sleep there unless you have to get on the road immediately. It just depends.
Wow. Oh, that's so sweet.
Yeah, I mean, because you got to remember so the bigger tours, obviously they always have hotel arrangements, and they have crews and all that. But for independent bands like this that are doing their own thing,
this band was defining starving artists.
Yeah,
they were siphoning artists. They were literally siphoning gas to get from one place to another. I mean, that's about as low as it gets. So, yeah, I mean, some guy's apartment is probably the best accommodations they can hope for.
Yeah. Well, let's get into there's not a whole lot of plot with this. Let's get into the meat of this movie, which are the many deaths. So I think I'd like to go around and just ask, kind of pick a death that was kind of you remember. Let me just jump into that. So, Lisa, what was one of the more memorable deaths in this movie?
Did you say you remember because I missed a couple of them?
Well, those clearly won't be the ones you pick.
I don't know. I don't know if there was a death so much as that arm breaking,
or a way of dying too. So the arm breaking.
Oh, big Justin's arm break.
Because it was just like, just because.
Well, that whole jujitsu sequence. Well, there was getting choked out.
That whole sequence. I wrote it's the open the door scene. I mean, once the door opens, shit happens. I mean, shit's happening everywhere. Yeah. I mean, it's crazy. So, you're saying the arm break?
Oh, yeah. That was nuts.
Yeah. I tied that in with the whole, I don't know if I know what he did. I don't know if I'd be able to choke someone out and hold him there while someone's slashing his stomach.
Well, he didn't know the stomach was going to get slashed.
Yeah. It happened. I mean, someone else had the wherewithal.
And what I was saying is, for some of these deaths, it's almost like this has happened before. Like, these Nazi fucks just had murdered people before.
Would you be fucking surprised?
No, but I was just saying, I was, a lot of diversity in this group, a lot of nonviolent. Oh wait, shit, no, there's none of that. they're just killing people. They're used to it. That was the part that kind of shocked me, was just the callousness, right? The coordination, the callousness. That was the crazy part. I would say the most shocking death for me was who was the guy who was trying to escape? Oh shit, what was that guy's
Reese.
name? The Nazi who was Daniel. There we go. Daniel, the Nazi who was trying to defect. When he got shot in the face, holy shit.
With the buckshot?
Yeah, that was...
Okay.
That was ridiculous.
Victor, explain this to me. Why did it take the entire freaking movie and then he's like, she's dead? I'm like, you were about to run away with this chick and you don't realize that she's like, well, no, because they
purposely held the information from them.
Yeah, but you figured out faster.
All right, Victor, as the Nazi expert, go for it.
Yeah, you got this.
go for it.
But I guess he knew, but he was told different information, like the band killed her, right? Something like that.
Yeah, but maybe it was just Darcy told him that. Now he was waiting outside for a long while, so
I guess they told him the band killed her, right?
Yeah, that's
I think he said the band had done something. He wasn't specific, I guess, maybe is what it was. Smart move. I mean,
so why was Amber so badass? I guess like she was, with Boxcutter.
Yeah, she turned almost into like Ripley from Alien.
With the cherry, with the cigarette. It was like crazy.
Yeah, she was awesome.
She was badass.
At first, she's just standing in the corner, like screaming and doing nothing. I was like, "Can you like be helpful?" And then, she turned it around.
Yeah. Well, and I mean, so Amber turned into just a stabby person. She started stabbing everyone, I guess, was the whole plan. But the thing I liked was that the band was pretty smart throughout the entire ordeal, right? I mean,
I did like the multiple uses of the fire extinguisher.
Yeah, they used the fire extinguisher. They got weapons. They subdued Big Justin as much as they could. They asked for the gun. They got the cartridges. They were trying to exchange things. They weren't totally dumb, right? They weren't totally getting duped. Amber hiding in the couch cushions. Fucking gangster level move. I mean, that was amazing.
Yeah, again, you're right, Victor.
Yeah,
Amber was MVP.
Yeah. But she wasn't full Nazi, right? So I guess that was another thing. Like they gave the Nazis different levels. Darcy, straight Nazi, right?
Yeah.
I mean, he's straight Nazi, the leader, drug dealer, kingpin. He's all that. There's the red laces. God, I had to look this up to see what red lace means. It means white people who have bled for the cause, so it's red. Fuck you.
What?
Yeah, fuck you. And then there's those people. Then there's Daniel, who's like the traitor, who's going to turn them in, right? There was people who were kind of fringe elements on there. There was the band Cowcatcher was full in. There's different levels, and I appreciate that there was at least some humanity given to some of the people, in there. Yeah. I appreciate that they weren't all just, murder victims to be happening to, right? And
well, people. So what was your favorite or more memorable death scene in this movie? I say favorite, but just what sticks out more in your mind?
A memorable one,
right,
not favorite. Yeah,
the box cutter. That was
on Big Justin.
On Big Justin, that was that was intense.
Big Justensen intestine.
Oh my god, I'm not.
And like all the actions with the dogs, that was like
yeah, the dogs were for me. Those were mine.
Mitch. I wrote down in my notes. This is why I'm a cat person because you can never send the cats in to go kill somebody. There you go.
Well, yeah, but on the flip side, if you need to have your dogs protect you for any reason,
you know what?
The cats are going to abandon you, man.
The cats
You're
are
on
just
your own.
Yeah, but I know the cats are going to abandon me, so it's fine.
Yeah, if you can prepare for it, sure.
You know what? I'm not going to whisper German in my cat's ear. All right. All right. I'm not going to.
Well, it's funny. So when if you would know this if you had a dog, when you train them, they actually recommend you use a language that is not very common in your area because otherwise people could give them the commands. And so when I train my dog, I use German commands.
No,
not yes.
No, Mitch.
Yeah, because no one in Texas really speaks German.
What's the bite command?
Don't worry about
exactly.
You'll find out shortly.
Nate. Yeah, Nate.
It's Nate.
You learned it in this movie. God damn it. Lisa, you couldn't give him Spanish, really? Come on.
No, everyone would be bossing her around then.
Yeah. Everyone, a lot of people.
Your dog is just goes straight down.
To be honest with you, we do use that command with her.
Yeah,
I think she's picked it up.
Well, she knows the hand motion, but if someone just tells her sit, it's fine. It's not gonna
Siéntate.
My dog is also by no means. She's
trilingual.
My dog's a candy ass.
Your dog's trilingual. The nicest trilingual dog. This dog is like the one that hears the feedback and just runs away. That's your in this movie for sure.
Well, so let's talk about the very end of this movie then. So there's been a lot of deaths, too many to keep track. But really, what you end up with is you have Amber, who's again resident badass.
The band is dead except Amber and Pat.
Yeah,
right. Yeah,
that's right. Amber and Pat, they sneak up on the Nazis who are staging the accident to very much show that pretend that it was all an accident. They were all trespassing. And then they just have one hell of a shootout.
Yeah, I loved this. So I always say that I'm the idiot who would like kamikaze and do whatever. And in this movie, I appreciated it immensely. Mm-hmm. First of all, the paintball story they told in the movie happened to a friend of the director.
Really?
Yes, cool. That paintball story is 1,000% real. So he had a friend who went kamikaze, Iraq vets in a paintball situation, and took them out. That literally happened, which is fucking awesome. Yep. That's really cool. But the fact that he goes like permanent marker, apocalypse now levels of camouflage.
Got to get in the game.
He starts yelling, hitting things, going kamikaze, and then now and this is why I appreciate it, because they had a chance to just leave, right? They could just walk down the road and call the cops and whatever. No, they fucking go after these Nazis so they don't get away, and they fucking kill them. And I hugely appreciated that. It probably moved the movie up hugely in my eyes that they made that like narrative choice to just fucking shoot all of them. I thought it was awesome. You're giving me a weird look, Mitch. Why?
Nothing. No, I'm just waiting for your NRA card to show up in the mail. Jesus.
No.
Yeah. If anyone's unsure of where Nate stands on neo-Nazis and skinheads in general.
Just to be clear, I hate them. That seems obvious.
Yeah. So,
Well, Victor, what do you think about the ending? So, what do you think about the ending?
I guess this was the best possible ending. after all the shit that happened in the movie, I guess it was the
best possible ending. Okay,
it was a good ending.
They didn't get away. They didn't go for the dark ending.
That's what I'm saying. I feel like in this community, these white supremacists, they could have hid. They could have gotten away or been shielded by a community of some sort, right? Because of this tight knit white supremacist kind of community. So you're saying that. Just go after him now and just don't even risk it. That's what you're saying? Don't risk them getting away.
No, I did.
Yeah.
And they should have had Rick Silva, the paintball guy, from the very beginning.
This call, he's the first cell phone call that you can get.
If you're a band, you ask him to be your driver, and you just say, "We'll kick over some McDonald's," every.
Yeah. Oh, man.
Yeah, you just pay pretty cheap there. I thought the shootout with Darcy was awesome. I liked the turnaround. It barely still pulled the trigger and almost missed him, which is a cool little touch.
It was a little more realistic. I think it showed people like missing. It showed people getting hit in weird spot. Ugh. I mean, it was kind of gross. Yeah.
Yeah, no, it was. I mean, I think it was the only way you really could in the movie without people just walking out going.
And again, the instigator of it all was Victor's favorite character, Amber. I mean, Amber. He goes, "I just want to ruin the crime scene." Hold on, I got to look at the direct quote. She said, "I just want to ruin the crime scene," and she said, "I figured we just make another one," which. Holy shit.
Wow.
Yeah.
I mean, that is a quote.
Yeah.
After she shot a guy straight in the gut. I mean,
her character's a little too all over the place. She's a badass, but it would have been different had she been a badass at the beginning.
I think she was in the community and she was just like, I want to get back at everybody. I think that was just. I'm sure she's been treated well by these neo-Nazis.
I don't know.
Yeah.
But you're just kind of saying that. There's nothing in the movie to suggest that. She literally just turns a flip. It's like, I'm just going to fucking murder everyone now.
I would just say because of the murdering, it seems like maybe she was treated very badly by them as well. Like she's treated really badly by apparently some non-white people, apparently. Oh. Went to the neo-Nazis in the direct opposite direction and probably was treated not very well as well. And then...
And like I said, again, that's kind of my point with some of these shorter movies. And if you don't, again, if you don't have time to develop
it's not
and show
out,
that, you've got to basically have them set that way from the beginning. Yep. So I mean, I think we've kind of covered most of the things we want to. Anything else, Victor, that we wanted to talk about with the movie?
I guess we covered everything, right?
Yeah, we'll get to our award stuff and all that, but
I mean, I just want to highlight the one-liners in this movie that were pretty ridiculous. I mean, there's some ridiculous one-liners. They kind of cut the tension in between different scenes.
Pick your one favorite that we haven't said.
Oh, shit. Hold on, I'm looking through my notes.
While you're looking through your notes, Lisa, anything
I'm going to say
else?
flabbergasted that motherfucker.
Flabbergasted that motherfucker was solid. I think I left out
that was a pretty good one. But it didn't take away from the overall tension.
No.
The tension was still there, but it just like a small loosening of it, and then just right back in. But it was pretty funny. What about you, Lisa?
What about the one-liners or just in general?
In general, yeah.
Anything else that we didn't cover?
I don't think so.
Okay. Well, then let me just ask you, what would you have all done differently?
Son of a bitch, you left the bodies and you only moved the headstones! You only moved the headstones! Why? Why?
I love the new drop.
Yeah, thank you to my brother for the inspiration for putting that new drop in. So, Lisa, if you're in this situation, what do you do differently?
So I think one thing is Amber, to me, played it all wrong from the beginning. Mm-hmm. So, this was her bandmate, right? She was in. No,
Amber's not in.
She's friends with the band. Well, she was Emily's friend who got stabbed.
Okay. So she wasn't a groupie or in the band.
It kind of explains why she goes insane because her friend did get stabbed.
Okay.
So
okay.
There's that, I guess.
Okay. Well, then maybe not. So I don't know. He walks in and she's just screaming at him to call the cops, and so she gets stuck in there with him.
Yeah.
It's almost like if you can control yourself, and I know that would be extremely difficult in that situation, watching your friend just get stabbed in the head.
Act like the Nazis.
Yeah,
get
be
out
like, bitch deserved it. I'm going to go freshen up or whatever, walk out, text the cops.
Yeah.
Get them to come, movie over.
That's hard, yeah.
It would be very, very difficult. It would be, but I don't know. There's got to be some part of you that knows from the beginning if you start screaming bloody murder, you're going to get it too.
You saw your friend get stabbed in the head.
I know. And that's the hard part. That's the hard part is to stay calm and not go crazy. And I didn't realize that she didn't even really know the band that much. Because if she had been like in the band, she probably could have played it off better.
Yeah.
But if she's just a friend of this chick who was going to run off with this other guy, then that's harder.
It kind of highlights how realistic this movie is because a lot of the choices they make are, relative to the circumstances, are pretty solid. So, it's kind of hard to pick certain ones. That's true.
Yeah. Victor, what would you have done differently?
Never leave your phone behind.
Got that right.
Never leave your phone behind. But then the Nazis would all be a lot. Well, then your band would be a lot of shit. Yeah, that's.
Yeah. Yeah, but even then, for me with this, it's hard to pick something I would have done differently because they don't have internet or electricity everywhere they're going. So when you get a charge, you got to just take it. So I get it. You're totally right.
Power bank.
Yeah, power bank.
Yeah. So you're saying don't leave your phone in a room charging where other Nazi bands are so you don't see murders happen when you go back. And secondly, get a power bank, right? You're saying there's two parts of it. Okay.
Because even when the van crashed and they left it all on, she's like, oh, I got a full charge. I'm good.
Yeah, as Mitch was saying.
Just charge it in the van.
No.
Well, if you get a power bank, charge the power bank and your phone. See, Victor's got it. Get a power bank.
Yeah.
Be more prepared. We could pretty much just put that to any horror
siphon
movie.
off USB power for your power bank from other cars. Do whatever you need to do.
Yeah, Nate, what would you have done differently?
I would have not climbed out of windows where I couldn't see where I was going. Like Reese in the band.
Like Reese.
He dove out the window. He wanted to try to get out, and he was getting bottled up, and he was feeling it. He just jumped out a window without looking, and he got stabbed in the back about 100 times.
Yep.
So don't do that. I would, and then secondly, I would just not play for Nazis. You might need money, but man, fucking Nazis. Just
well, you don't always
do it. I know it's tough. I know it's tough, and you need the money. Just not Nazis, man.
And choose a different cover song, right?
No, I know. I say
I'm with Victor. That was dumb.
No, what would I have done the same? Play Nazi Punks Fuck Off by Dead Kennedys. I would have done it the same 100. My entire set would have been that song on repeat if it was me, but that's me.
They converted them all to fans afterwards, so I guess,
converted to fan. Well, we'll get to that in a second.
So for me, I wouldn't have thrown out the gun to him.
Kept the gun.
Yeah, that'd have been.
That's true.
That's to me the only really kind of bad decision that would have happened. But
in general, they were pretty solid. Yeah. They did a good job.
Yeah, so for awards, I think I'm going to give my most misunderstood skinhead goes to the dog. The poor dog.
Vice.
Yeah, right toward the end, finds its master, and just it does the whole Futurama lays its head down the dog. It's just sad. It doesn't know any better.
As the guns were getting clicked toward it, which was that was crazy.
The dog survives.
Well, doesthedogdie.com One of them dies.
One dies.
Yeah.
But it's not very.
The dog basically like Cujo's it, like takes bullets in the shoulder and then still kills the person. I mean, that was like crazy levels.
Yeah. So that's my award. Victor, how about you?
My most awkward small talk of the year goes to Worm. I like
Hey, what was that second to last song you played? Toxic Evolution? That's the one I did her to. It's like, yikes.
Yeah.
You could hear a pin drop in that room. Yikes.
Yeah.
You could hear a knife drop in that room.
Such fucking hard, man.
Oh, God. That was fucking gross.
Yeah. The only way this movie gets more authentic is someone in the band goes, well, we can sell it to you on CD for $15.
Available on iTunes.
Also available on iTunes.
Yeah, well, they're on iTunes, man. They would sell you a vinyl. This band's like throwing you a vinyl to catch.
Yeah. Someone would still be trying to make the sale.
Yeah.
This was real.
Man.
Nate, how about you?
I got the Good Conscience Award to Daniel. He was going to leave with Emily, the one who got stabbed in the head, and totally give evidence to the police that the Nazis were terrible and fucking turn them all in.
Yep.
And the stupid worm, the awkward conversation guy, got in their way, which sucked. I was hoping they would all get turned in. Well, they all got shot, so it was fine.
Yep.
And I got the Punkocalypse Now award to Pat for coloring his face with permanent marker, going insane, Apocalypse Now style, and helping murder people.
Yeah, he leaned into it.
Yep, Punkocalypse Now.
Lisa.
I got the worst tour ever award.
Worst tour.
Because, you don't often want your tours to end in death, but
Yeah. Oh, man. Well, we started a Mexican restaurant in Oregon, then we end up dead.
hey, man, if it were me, I would have just kept playing Mexican restaurants. Be like, you give me free enchiladas, and I'll play here. I'm good.
Yeah, I mean, good guy promoter award definitely is Tad.
Tad. He really
sure as hell
tried.
got him a good paying gig. Felt bad about the whole situation.
Yeah, well, apparently his last show got stopped because of fecal matter and vomiting in the venue.
You laugh. That's happened here in Houston. Actually,
matter?
right at Fitzgerald's. Yeah.
No.
Yeah.
Oh,
yeah.
that's
Punk
ridiculous.
band just totally
fecal mattered it up.
Yeah, like explosive diarrhea and everything on stage.
What?
On stage?
Yeah, I think it's Fitzgerald's. It could be like White Swan or something, but it was near downtown. This has actually happened. Yeah.
All right, well, that's all right.
Yeah, that's the punk scene for you. That shit doesn't happen at like a Modest Mouse concert.
That's true.
No pun intended.
Yeah, no, not Katy Perry. Probably not happening at that time.
Yeah, that shit doesn't happen. Pun
Gaga
intended.
threw up on
doesn't
somebody,
happen.
Didn't she? Gaga threw up on somebody at South by one year.
Yeah, but
it's just
you're sick.
It's a nice throw up, That's fine.
The explosive diarrhea was planned. The lady,
she was playing too.
Oh, hers was playing.
Yeah.
Well,
I don't know why.
Someone probably got really excited about that, so it's Lady Gaga, I guess. So with that, we'll get to our final segment.
Final cut.
All right, Lisa, we'll start with you.
Start with the lowest score and move up.
Yeah, I guess we'll set the floor.
I don't know.
2 out of 10 Sweet Dreams.
I'll probably go 4 out of 10.
Okay.
Sweet Dreams.
4 out of 10 Sweet Dreams.
Yeah. I mean, it wasn't Tourist Trap by any stretch of the imagination.
It's a downside, but other than that.
Yeah.
Okay.
No, I mean, like, so
it had some good actors in it. I mean, I appreciated parts of it.
What was the negatives that were taking points away? Like, what was the?
It is just I just feel like I've seen these escape movies.
A tired
before.
premise.
Yeah.
Okay.
Nate,
that's fair. I mean, in my positives, I wrote the protagonists were unnaturally smart for kind of a horror movie. They were actually pretty smart. So.
Especially for a touring punk rock band.
Exactly. You would think one member of the punk band is the jiu-jitsu guy. So it's, one guy is the escape artist trying to peel away floorboards and stuff. Yep. I mean, there's actually kind of a smart. One guy was the ringleader telling inspirational paintball stories. I mean, it was a pretty good
the basis, of course,
band in general. The Nazis' planning was fucking scary. To me, the most horrifying part of the movie was the coolness and calmness of how the Nazis were planning on murdering this band and covering it up, right? The one-liners were freaking ridiculous. I guess maybe a little more time with the band to flesh out some of the other characters. Kind of, what was Tiger doing? What was Reese doing? What was Pat doing? Sam, all the band members. I wish I got a little bit more backstory with them. But in general, I liked it. I give it 7 out of 10 Dead Kennedys covers.
Very good. Victor?
For me, it's like a 6 out of 10. I wouldn't watch it again like tonight, for example. But
I really don't watch a lot of people get murdered over and over. I go,
Victor, I agree with you. I gave it 6 out of 10 sound checks. I liked it. I do agree with Lisa. I've seen this movie a few times. I mean, it was handled very well, so the high scores are from that. But
the cinematography was good. A lot like the kind of like the washed out colors. In a lot of situations, they kind of like made the colors more prominent. The acting was good. Right?
I don't know that I cared about the colors being prominent or not. That didn't affect my score one way or the other in this particular movie.
I thought it might be higher for you because they accurately were depicting kind of bands on tour and stuff.
No,
like
that was 6 out of it got 6 out of 10. Again, the deaths were kind of handled fine. It just I mean, I just knew you kind of know what the beats are going to kind of be. Nothing really. It was a fine movie. It flowed well. But there wasn't really anything new or.
I thought it was kind of surprising that Pat and Amber both got out alive.
It didn't,
and that some of the Nazis like narked on the other Nazis. Not narked, rightly turned them in.
Well, but you knew they were going to do that from the beginning. He mentions that.
Well, who's going?
They say it at the beginning, like that the cousin's coming because he starts talking about the van. He says, "Hey, shut the fuck up."
Yeah.
Yeah, so you knew he was leaving.
Yeah, but you didn't know he was going to join them in their crusade against people trying to murder them. I mean,
but you knew he was leaving.
Potentially leaving.
It's a very predictable affair. But nothing about it is shocking.
But there was also the other guy who was it Gabe or whatever the accountant. I almost call him the accountant guy. Yeah.
Did not find anything at all shocking.
Okay,
and I feel like you and we're going to keep arguing that piece a little bit as the credits are rolling. With that, I think that's going to wrap up this week's episode. Nate, tell them where they can find us.
Sure. You can find us at our website at texaspodcastmassacre.com. Tweet us at the newly 280 character tweets. So give us, some more nuanced tweets at TXPodMassacre. You can find us on iTunes, Google Play, Stitcher, TuneIn Radio, and all of your podcast platforms to agree with us that Nazis are terrible. Yeah, there were one last Nazis are terrible in there, and then that's it.
So yeah, if you again are unsure of where Nate stands on white supremacists, Nazis are bad.
Yep.
And this year we apparently have to be very explicit about.
Yeah, normal other years potentially not. This year it's going to make it rock solid on this one.
Right. Well, Victor, thanks so much for joining us.
Thank you.
We're gonna get you a happier movie next time,
or at least a less Nazi one.
Yeah, less Nazis for sure,
and not a slasher. We'll keep you off the slasher movie rotation, so that'll be good. But yeah, we'll have you back soon. So thank you very much.
Thank you.
Yep, Lisa, as always, thank you as well for putting up with it.
You're welcome.
That's pretty accurate for this.
Yeah. And thank you all, everyone, for listening to this episode. From all of us here at Texas Podcast Massacre, just keep telling yourself it's only a movie. Good night.